Welcome to the Millspouse Coffee House Podcast. Your podcast baristas Leslie and Brittany have a latte on their minds.
My kid gets in the dishwasher, that's the first thing she grabs is the knife.
To use all the help. All the help.
Am I the only one that's weirded out by that situation?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask. You don't have to get dressed. You can do online hungover, y'all.
That's true.
Yeah. That's funny.
Here are your hosts, Leslie and Brittany.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Millspouse Coffee House Podcast.
Hello, Brittany. How are you?
I'm great, Leslie. How are you today?
I am also great. I hope everyone else is great as well.
You got to get a workout in before.
I did. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So sometimes every now and then, y'all, we forget we're in different time zones. So we make appointments and schedule things for like the time, and then we don't know what time it is.
Yeah, so I completely missed our recording this morning because I was thinking that it was a certain time, my time, and it really was in Leslie's time, so.
It's all good. I got my workout in. It worked out. Get it?
No pun intended.
I really didn't intend, but I got it. Got it in there. Oh, all right. So what are we talking about?
Today we are going to be talking about get the F off of social media.
Get the F off social media, y'all. And we have touched on this a few times. And actually, we weren't even intending to talk about this today. It was a completely, totally other thing. But we were discussing this before we hit record, and we thought we would share our thoughts with you.
Yeah, and all of those wonderful thoughts that are
everyone's like, tune out. I'm not. I don't want to know your thoughts.
I know. Well, social media is I think it's something that can be absolutely wonderful for certain things, and I think it's absolutely horrific and negative for other things. And it's such a time suck.
Exactly.
Suck.
That is my problem. I don't have the apps on my phone. I can handle Instagram, but for whatever reason, Facebook, and maybe it's just because it's been ingrained in me for so many years of scrolling, I have to get it off. So every time I go do a Facebook Live, I have to reinstall my app, and then I delete it.
Yeah, they should have just a Facebook Live app, but then
Messenger, because Messenger I don't care about. Like it's there. I have Messenger, but the Facebook app I have to delete. And I mean, it works for me, and I think everybody should do that.
I think that's a great idea, actually. Yeah. I really do. And I will, so my friends from high school, there's a group of us, and there are about 3 of my really close friends. I've been friends with them for 30 years, since we were 8 years old. And they are not on Facebook. And they were in the beginning when it first came out in 2004. And I think they were only on it for like a year, and they are on no social media. They're not on Instagram. They're not on Twitter. They're not on anything. They're not on Facebook. They literally just have email. And I think actually one of them does Snapchat, just because that's kind of fun. But really, they're not on anything else. And they don't sit there and scroll the way that I do, when I go to their house or any of that kind of stuff. So
exactly, like when you're with people in real life. I mean, most of my friends that I hang out with are scrolling while we're at lunch. And I'm like, can you put your phone down? Because it's kind of rude, because you're not in the present moment. Like, don't invite me to lunch if you're just going to scroll and look at other people. Because I am here, and I want you to look at me.
Look at me!
Look at me, damn it. But yeah, and that to me is really bothersome. I don't know. And I am very, very quickly getting over it, I guess. And then there's this catch-22 where it's pretty much a necessity for business.
Absolutely, and that makes it really hard.
Because if you don't have a social media presence, are you relevant? Are you a real person or a real business? Like, to most people, that makes you not real.
No. My friends are non-existent because they're not on social media.
Right. And here's another thing. Even though I don't like social media, I will still go Google and look you up to make sure that you're real.
Yeah. I will too.
So it's like, what do we expect? But I kind of just expect people on the internet to be business oriented, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you do this? Okay, so there's a couple of Facebook pages that I follow, and they're just like they're just like, it's like weird history and stuff like that. They do like funny stories and weird stories and stuff. And so I'll read the comments on certain things, and then I get into this like rabbit hole because I'll see somebody who puts like a really ridiculous comment, and then I'll have to look at their profile.
Right.
And then I get like, I'm like, who is this and why are they saying this ridiculous thing on social media? And then I go look at their profile, and then I look at their pictures, and I'm like, oh, like
right, yeah.
totally judging, right?
And you've spent like 30 minutes doing that.
Yes.
And at the end of that, is it relevant to your life?
No, it's not. Totally not.
That is the catch.
And another thing too. Okay, so social media, like Facebook, for example, I think for military families is great. If we're going to tie it in, like it's a great way for us to stay in touch with family, friends that we've moved away from. Okay, so that is the positive piece for me, is staying in touch. However, I don't post anything. I never post anything on social media. Yeah. So it's not really anybody keeping up with me at all,
Exactly.
And then the second thing is, it's great for military spouses for like groups. Like if you're moving to a new area, there's all these great groups that you can join to learn about the area from people who are living there, right? So those are great. But if you're in 150 groups and you've got notifications all over the place, it drives me bonkers.
Yeah, I can't with groups. Like there's a couple that I do like, but I will intentionally go to that group to look at it because I have all of my notifications off.
I do too.
Because I can't, it's distracting if I'm trying to work and my phone's ding, 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 all this stuff. Or you just pick up your phone to make a phone call, but now you're looking at all these notifications from groups, from a message, and then it's distracting you from what you are intending to do. And you waste an hour, and not to mention like hanging out with your kids, and then
I know,
you pick it up, and like I can, Lula May, and this is sort of like my wake up call on this one. She'll be like, "Mom, mom, mom," and like, and I'm hearing her, but I'm not paying attention, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so not worth it."
No.
She's frustrated. She feels like I don't give a shit because she's like, I'm talking to you just like me at lunch. Look at me.
Yeah.
Like, and for them, they don't, being that little, they don't get it. Mm-mm. Like, and even I get frustrated when my husband's on the phone. I'm like, get off, I'm trying to talk to you. And I mean, for kids, I feel like that's just so much worse. And the feeling of, inadequacy and not being good enough for you to pay attention to me, they deal with that in a totally different way.
Oh yeah. Well, and then they see you do it too, right? So like when and our kids are too little to have social media, but I mean, let's say that she was at the age, I don't know when kids get on social media, like 15, 16 is when, maybe 17. Well, didn't we talk about, we thought that 18 should have been like the age. I can't remember if that was me and you that talked about that. Yeah, for like social media at least. Cell phones I think is okay. Like if they're driving, like if they have their car. But
no, it's definitely not 16. It's like 10.
Right nowadays.
Yeah, well, and like because they're on TikTok now, which is, social media in a way. Which, by the way, guys, TikTok, talk about time consuming. I know it's a new thing, and everybody thinks it's really cool, and it is cool. But I have tried it, and editing those videos takes way too damn long, and that is a waste of my life.
I haven't even. I really don't even know what it is, so I'm not even
people
gonna
like
go
sing
there.
and dance, and they make like videos doing stuff. And Gary Vee and the business world's like, "Ooh, get on TikTok. That's a new place to be." Yeah. And so people are doing it, and so I got on it because I'm like, all right, Gary Vee knows all things. And I tried to make a video because you like lip sync. So first off, you have to practice the song over and over, and like make sure you're lip syncing, unless you're not lip syncing and you're doing a dance or something. Or like things, and then you have to go and edit it and do like all the special effects and make it like, oh my God.
I wonder why it's called TikTok.
I don't know. Because it's catchy.
I don't know. Is that a dance move that I'm not aware of?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We should ask the 12-year-old. Say no more.
I don't know anything about TikTok. I'm like, anyway. I'm barely can understand Instagram. Okay, like that's enough for me. But I guess, going back to social media is such a time waster. It's really, you sit there and you compare yourself with other people. I know I do it.
Yep.
you know, and you're like, oh, how do they have this house, and how do they do this, and how do they do this, and look at all their pretty kids, and look at her career, and her career is doing this. And, you know, we always talk about people only post the good things, right? So, you know, there is that too. And so I think all around, it just kind of sucks. And the only good thing about it is the connection of what it was meant for, I think, was to connect other people.
Yeah,
right?
and now we're just like way too
And
far.
now
Just like all good things. Almost every single good thing goes too far and it becomes bad. Like everything.
Yeah.
Eating delicious food. You can go too far. And then you have to work out a lot.
Yeah.
Too, you know, like it's just alcohol. You go too far. You can have a couple glasses of wine, great. Once you drink the bottle, not as great. So,
well, I wonder, you know, some people do like after 6 p.m. they put their phone down. They don't touch their phone for the rest of the night. That kind of thing.
Yes, I have done that. In fact, I don't do this anymore, and I need to because I'm falling back into this habit of being on my phone at night. I used to plug it in the kitchen, and I would go to bed.
That's a great idea.
And that's like, that was like a period where I was really on a rigorous schedule trying to get my life together. So I was meditating. I made sure I put it in the kitchen so I could relax and do everything and not wake up to an alarm. That's a big thing for me, is being able to not wake up to an alarm. However, if I'm sitting on my phone at night because I'm up too late, then I have to wake up to an alarm because I don't wake up on time naturally.
See?
So it's like
a domino effect.
Yeah, it really, really is. And there was a period of months where I was great because I woke up at 4 every single day with no alarm. And I was up and doing stuff and like had half my stuff done before Lula woke up. It was freaking beautiful. And I've fallen out of that. And then I'm like, well, I got to get on my phone because now I got to work late because I didn't get it done. And then I have to wake up to the, like, it is literally a domino effect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Get your phone out of your room.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea to plug it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so you're not on it. But I do love the after 6 p.m. Now, you know, for like I do work, and so sometimes I am checking email at night, which maybe I shouldn't be. But if there's a big project going on and that's in a completely different time zone, like Pacific time zone, and they're 2 hours behind me, I need to be able to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, that part's hard. And then if your spouse is deployed or whatever, your phone, it always needs to be
attached
to you, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and then that goes back to
hard.
deleting apps. Like in certain situations, there are appropriate times, and we're very grateful for the fact that we can do that. Like you can operate, you can do your work with somebody around the world. You can wait on your husband's phone call rather than getting a letter that's like arriving 30 days later.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff is good. There's the balance. And I think, you are going to keep your phone.
I think deleting the social media app off your phone is the best. And I do know that like Facebook, you can get on your desktop, and Instagram, I think you can get on your desktop too, but like you can't really interact.
It's just not as like, I mean, you can comment and like, and that's about it.
And Twitter, but I think the majority of people are on their phones most of the time, or their iPads or tablets or whatever. So
Instagram specifically, you pretty much have to have the app if you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't terrible.
Well, and I only downloaded Instagram for me to be able to post stuff for us. Like that's the only reason why I have it on my phone.
Well, and that's why I deleted it off, but I go on my desktop to do work on social media and then I get off. And that's the best thing for me personally, is to schedule, I do the block timing, because you guys, my time management used to be really bad and it's still not perfect, but for me,
it's getting better. Yeah.
It's getting better. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Thank you so much. But yeah, then that works for me. So I schedule like, okay, I'm going to be on 20 minutes. And I also give myself about 10 minutes to scroll because I know I'm going to do it. So instead of beating myself up about it later, and I'm just like, all right, 10 minutes, scroll, look at your stuff, set the timer. When that timer's off, you're done. Now go to work.
Yeah, that's a great idea to do a block timer too for scrolling. So do you set a timer on your phone while you're doing it? Like 10 minutes,
and then I'll scroll, because there's like a few people that I'm like, I want to lurk those people, or I want to see what my competitors are doing. That's kind of some of that. I call it research.
Hey, it is research, stalking, research,
whatever. But it works because I get it out. Like just get it out, get it over with, and then I can focus better. Because if I don't do that, then I'll find myself trying to work, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I wanted to look at that one thing, and then you're in the rabbit hole. then
Yeah, that rabbit hole is like, I mean, when you get into into Wonderland,
you're done.
You're
Here comes the
done.
Queen of Hearts wanting to chop off your head.
Right. You're drinking that crazy tea with, the
to grow bigger or smaller.
Yes.
Lula really likes Alice in Wonderland, the old one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why would you just pick this up that says eat me? And why would you just pick it up that says drink me? Like, are you insane? And actually, funny enough, she has this quote that says at the end, like, she's really sad and she's like, I give myself advice, but I very seldom take it.
Yes.
Like, hey,
You're
girl,
like,
whoa, that is a life quote.
And then you also give other people advice. Like, how many times have you found yourself in a conversation with somebody and you're actually giving them great advice and you're like, wow, I'm really smart, but then you don't even listen to your own. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know it all the time.
Well, so maybe our advice for ourselves is get off social media. So I need to delete the Facebook app off my phone because that's the main.
Right. And it's a game changer because if you do have something that you need to do on Facebook, just get on your desktop, because I feel like it's so much more of a process to sit down, get on your desktop and like do the thing because it's so easy on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it's got a little bit of resistance to get on there, then you're less likely to just do all of the time wasting.
Yeah. And, going back to groups are great. Groups are great for certain purposes. They really are. Now, I did a group purge probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and I just left all of the groups that I hadn't touched in, probably 6 months. I just left them because it was getting too overwhelming. There was a group for this and there was a group for that and the group for this, and like I couldn't keep them all straight. And it overwhelmed me, and I shouldn't have even had that stress. Like I was getting overwhelmed over something that was completely pointless to get overwhelmed about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think even just all the notifications on your phone trigger a little bit of anxiety, even if they're like for work and all the things. But even if you don't intentionally accept the chaos that it can make, it's a lot to look at. Our brains are not made to process that many things at one time.
Yeah.
And I think that it onsets really, like you said, unnecessary stress.
Unnecessary stress is what it goes to. And that's why, like, in our inbox, y'all, if you could see the inside of our inbox, like as soon as an email comes in, I like file it away.
I don't even know where you file it, Brittany. I can't find them once you do that. Okay? That's why I have to email my personal self from our business email, because I can never find them.
There's a special folder for everything. And if I don't do it, it makes me insane. It makes me insane. And that's how I operate in my work folder too, because I get so many emails on a regular basis that I have to keep it filed, because to me, if it's in my inbox, I have to do it. That's my to-do list, right? Yes,
which I really appreciate. When you said that, I was like, ooh, wow. Because listen, my inbox is the complete opposite. Wow. I had 14,780 emails.
That makes my skin crawl.
I know. Brittany is like, what is that? Why? Let me go through your emails and delete all of them. But it's my personal, so it has all the coupons and the subscriptions and like all the crap in it, the promotion. Because I don't go through like the promotions or my spam folder. They just sit there. So that number, of freaking 10 years probably. So that number keeps piling up. But I went ahead and I created a new email, guys, and I check all of them, because when you put your to-do list, I was like, all right, I got it. So now I leave them until I know I can focus on them too.
Okay.
So then I have then my app just says 3 instead of 14,000.
Oh, that is so much nicer.
And I turned off my notifications and everything for that other email, because I just will check it occasionally if I know something's in there, but I just don't want to.
Doesn't it make you feel less stressed out though when you see the 3 as opposed to the 14,000?
Yes.
Like it just
because there's a point where you just shut down and you can't look at it. Like when your house is like, okay, so if your room is a mess, cool, you can deal with that. But if your entire house is a mess, then you're like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to sit on the floor and drink wine because I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And then you drink wine and then you're hungover the next day, and it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's,
and social media caused that. No, I'm just
right. But no, well, maybe. I actually have a friend who deleted the Facebook app because she was scrolling actually she deleted her entire Facebook. Like it's gone, no app, the whole thing's gone because she was so addicted to it that she started running late for work because she would just sit there and scroll in the morning instead of like paying attention. And like to me, that's a little ridiculous. However, that is a real thing.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. It's you are addicted to that. And
yeah, that's real. You know what? As soon as we're done, actually, let me go ahead and do it now. I'm going to delete the Facebook app right now. Any other listeners that want to do it, let's do it at the same time. We can count to 3.
Good call. Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Delete.
Do it. Delete it. Yes. Do you have an iPhone? You don't have an iPhone, do you?
No, I do not have an iPhone.
Okay, well, for those of you who have an iPhone, when you hold on it and so when you delete apps on the iPhone, you can hold the icon down for like 3 seconds or something, and then all the icons start to shake a little bit, and they have a little X on them, so you can go and delete. So those of you who have iPhones, get your apps shaken. It's like an anticipation.
Oh yeah, they're like
icons and then hit X.
They're afraid that they're going to be deleted.
And it's kind of intense, like especially when you're like, like the first time I did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to see my notifications for work and this and that and the other. But then I was like, no, I'm just gonna create time on purpose to go check those. Because honestly, y'all, the emails, the whatever it is, even if it's for work, doesn't need your attention right this second. No. There are very few things in life that need your attention right this second. Now, having a deployed spouse, I get it. You want to keep your phone on you at all times because when they call, that's one of those things that you do need to take right this second.
Yes, that is completely understandable, 100%. But
most things, not that important. Every now and then you'll have some work stuff that if you're on standby, then you need to kind of wait for it. But you already will know, like, hey, when my phone rings, guys, I'm going to have to walk out and answer it.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, there's really not that much that needs to be attended to immediately. Nope. But we feel like it has to. When you get those notifications, like, shit, I got to check it right now.
Well, because we're so instant. We want stuff now. We want to lose weight now. We want to do this now.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. We're not patient anymore. We've lost We have
been trained to not be patient. And that is a problem. I saw this quote the other day that was like, I'm gonna mess it up a little bit here, but it said anxiety is a disease of our time because we no longer know how to be present.
Yeah.
And I was
that is so true because we're sitting there scrolling as we're talking to people.
We're worrying about the future or we're dwelling on the past. And, and a lot of it does have to do with how quickly we move and how fast we can do things, but we've lost the ability to be present because we're doing 2 things at one time. We're on our phone, we're checking email, we're working, like we're doing so many things at once that we don't know how to be present, which induces anxiety big time. I mean,
absolutely.
And I'm not discounting anxiety at all. I think it's just so much more. Like there might have been 5 people 100 years ago in the United States that had anxiety.
Right.
But now almost everybody has it. It's clinically diagnosed with anxiety, but it's like
it's a real thing. It's
because you can't be present, and because I get it. I totally get it. Almost all of my family is depression, anxiety, bipolar, all of those things, a lot of those things that go hand in hand mentally. Mm-hmm. And when you just learn to be present, and this comes with meditation too, y'all. Anxiety, learn to meditate. And it's freaking hard because you're sitting there and you're like, shit, I got to be doing this and I got to do this and I got to do that. And there's this thing. And then there's this one thing that I didn't do that now I'm like pissed off at myself about not doing it. And then you get the anxiety because now you feel like crap because you didn't do the thing. You procrastinated because of your anxiety. And then you get depressed.
It's like a vicious cycle.
It really is. But when I saw that, I was like, dang, we got to be present.
Yeah.
And social media is not where you're at. You are not you're not in it. You can't be in it.
What was really interesting is I was at the airport this past week. I had to travel for work, and I was standing behind I was going to refill my water bottle. I was standing behind these 3 high school girls, and they had their water bottles, and they were talking about how one girl was like trying to figure out when she was going to post something because she took a picture. Like I saw her take a picture of something. I don't know what she took a picture of, and she's like, she's talking with her two friends. She's like, I'm going to post it and I'm going to put this caption and I'm going to post it. Should I post it now or should I post it later?
Right.
Or who should I, and I don't know where she was talking about.
Probably
posting
TikTok.
it. Maybe TikTok. I don't know. But like, that's actually part of their conversation and they plan it because that's where their existence is on the internet.
And isn't that so, like, if you are making your identity on that, what happens, like, if it all gets shut down one day, because it can.
Right.
And so then,
do
like,
you
just
disappear?
hypothetically say Facebook just disappears or Instagram just disappears. Your identity is based on that. And now you have just lost your entire being, your entire self-worth, everything. And talk about being depressed and having really, really bad issues. If you're based on that, you know what I mean? Like, I know that is a little bit of an extreme example, and some people are probably rolling their eyes like, oh, yeah, right. But it's a real thing, especially at 13, 14, 15, when things are already a shit show for you. Like, it just, and you don't know how to talk to people. So there's that.
Well, that's true too, is you forget how to be a human being.
Mm-hmm.
You forget.
Yeah.
So, well, we are actually over time, but that's okay. I mean, I think this is a good, we're fine. Yes. But we're contemplating y'all about, well, let me rewind back. We don't have a Facebook group for the podcast.
Right.
And we haven't done that for many reasons. And some of those have been discussed right here because we just don't have time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Facebook groups are a time suck. And we don't want to get lost in the sea of Facebook groups, but we want to have a way to connect with you guys beyond just you listening to us talk.
Yeah, right? We like to hear you guys, like what y'all's feedback, what you have to say about certain subjects, what you want to listen to, all of those things.
So we're contemplating, there's like all these community apps out there, and maybe that's something that y'all would be interested in or not, but it would be an app I think that you'd have to download. I'd have to do a little bit of research. There's a couple of them out there, but is there, because Instagram doesn't have Facebook groups or
no, they're
not Facebook groups, but you know what I mean? Like there's no like groups in Instagram.
No, there's no groups on Instagram. Yeah, we're trying to figure out, like, because what we want is for you to have a separate place to go on purpose to ask questions and all of those, because we don't want to suck your time. We don't want you scrolling through a group that we may or may, that hypothetically we create, and then go and you read the comments and you go see what that girl looks like and what she's talking about and all those things. We don't want to waste your time, and we want it to be meaningful, purposeful,
all of those things. Like we want you to be able to go there and share information with us and with maybe each other, and not be another place for you to have 5,000 notifications on, right? Like,
yeah, just another place I gotta be, another group I gotta be in.
We don't want it to be an anxiety
anxiety-inducing situation.
That's what I was trying to say. Yes, absolutely not. So we're considering a couple of those things, but we want to hear your feedback on that. Like, is that something that you guys want, or do you just like it as is? What is
and if Facebook groups are like your jam, let us know that too. Because if enough of you are like, I'm not doing any of that, I'm sticking with Facebook, I want the group, then we could do that. We'll just hear it. We just want y'all's feedback, if you're on an app. Slack is another thing. I know Slack is really popular, and most of us use it for work, for school, for group communication, but we may be able to design it so that that's...
I think that's a great option too, but I'd like to get feedback from folks, and you can shoot us an email or send us an IM or... I said it again!
Wow.
DM!
Episodes in a row. IM. That was the beginning of social media.
That was the beginning of social media.
AOL chats. Ooh,
I'm
can
stuck.
I do one thing really quick before we leave?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I've discovered, like, YouTube is kind of my jam right now. And there's YouTube Live, which I'm going to start doing for the Leslie O Show podcast.
Yeah.
Live. And I was live on this. It was a meditation, like, going to sleep sounds. And I looked at the chat on it, and it was literally an AOL chat gone bad. Like, people were on there not meditating and not saying nice
like
things.
ASL, do you remember that?
Age, sex, location. Yes. No, but they were just like, hey, from all the places around the world. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then everybody like just started not being nice.
Oh,
And it was just
no.
the weirdest. It reminded me of AOL chat rooms all over again.
No, not good.
And it was
That we don't
vibing.
want anything that we have a part of to turn into that either.
Well, maybe we could do it on YouTube Live. And because you can control it, like you can just send out links and it's only your people that get the links, so we could send it out on our email list.
So maybe people who have the email list could maybe see us record episodes live.
Wow. Hey guys, get on our email list.
Oh, yes. And to do that, guys, just go to our website, millspousecoffeehouse.com, and there'll be a little pop-up thingy where you can enter your email address. That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
Okay, cool. Wow.
That'll be fun. And real quick before we leave, there's a couple of things that we just wanted to mention. So March 2 through 7 is the Independent Wellness Summit, and
Yes.
it is free. They do have an all access pass that you can join, and there's ways, they have perks of having the paid pass. And if you do that, you can use the code MILSOCoffee for a percentage off. And also just to let them know that you heard about the summit through us. But we've attended every year. It's a great week of like learning new things and connecting with people. And I think there's a retreat that you can win tickets for. So all kinds of good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Get that anxiety level down.
Yes. Yes.
It is good. It is. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so that's March 2 through 7, and it's all virtual, so no childcare or travel is required, so that's perfect. And you can find that, I think, at independent.org, or we've shared a lot of the posts on Facebook for like the event page and things like that. So use Milso Coffee if you register for either the free or the advanced, the paid registration. So
do it.
Do it. And then lastly, we want to thank our season 3 sponsor, 90 Day VA.
The bomb.
Bomb.
Yeah, y'all, 90 Day VA. So she gets you real jobs from home.
Yes. And
no travel or childcare might be.
Childcare probably for certain things, but I think that you can make your own schedule for a lot of the clients. So, you can do it whenever, like if your kids are school age, you can do it while your kids are in school, or at bedtime, nap time.
Flexibility.
And, lots of flexibility. So check out 90 Day VA. It's a course, and then you get to basically connect with Esther's network. And she's been doing this for so long, she knows everybody.
Yes, and I was actually just trying to get into my email, forgetting that I don't have my email on anymore.
Oh.
Because I believe I saw that she is enrolling. It might have been last week or 2 weeks ago. So the time that you listen to this, today is February 23rd, 2020. I think she was enrolling, or it might have just ended.
I think it just ended, but she opens her doors every I think it's like every month or so, and you can register beforehand and go ahead and start like getting in the Facebook group and like communicating in there, and then she lets you know when the doors are open for the school again. So
email list again, get on there.
You can get on the email list at any time, so do that now.
But it's really, really awesome, guys, because I mean, speaking of groups, all of the time it's like, hey, I need to work from home, looking for a job, looking for a real job, et cetera, and that is the place to go.
Yes. So 90 Day VA, check it out. And I think that's it for our podcast today, right? Anything else we need to say?
No, time flew. Wow.
It really did.
That was a great, and let us know how y'all feel about this situation, because there's, our thoughts on it, but everybody else has their own opinion, and I'd like to know, especially y'all, if like from our generation gap, our audience is from brand new military spouses, which are, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say stereotypically 18 to 21, and then we have a lot of like seasoned spouses, 10 years, 15 years in, making you not 18 anymore.
No.
I'm really sorry.
Making you
there.
Making you late 30s.
Yeah, we're all pushing it. God. All right. Let's not end on the fact that we are old. We're not old, you guys.
We're not old.
But season.
Yay.
I'm not really sure how I even feel about that word, to be honest. What's your opinion on that?
Oh, I don't mind that word.
We're not getting into it.
No.
We're going to wrap it up. But yes, let us know because we like it. It's so interesting, y'all, and we can share with each other. And maybe you haven't talked to that 18-year-old lately because you're not in there. So we can all just learn about each other.
Oh, well, and you should listen to our podcast episode about having friends of different ages too.
Ooh,
if you haven't, because we talk about that, about having
the benefits of that, because that is to learn all kinds of things.
Yes. So that's it for today.
Have a great day.
If you need us, email us or shoot us a DM. I said it correctly that time. Or a message on Facebook, and we love hearing